Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Steven, and today we'll be talking about Superman, my favorite superhero. July 11th is not coming fast enough, and I'm really looking forward to James Gunn's interpretation of this iconic character. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff, the Snyderverse, or a faction of it. I think they're called the Snyder cultists or the Snyder bros, who are trying to discredit this film, bring this film down, destroy the film, and it's really bumming me out. And I really dislike this because you know what? First of all, it's taking Snyder fans who enjoyed these films, and I don't dispute some of them were really good. I think Man of Steel is the most underrated Superman movie of all time, or maybe even one of the most underrated comic book movies. I just think I wasn't ready when I first saw it. I didn't get on board right away until I bought it again on Blu-ray and watched it again. And went, you know what? This is wow. This is pretty cool, and I enjoyed it. It took me a while to come around. Do I think Henry Cavill was a great Superman? Yeah. Did he get his shot to have his definitive movie? No. Do I wish he had one? Hell yeah. I think any geek, any superhero fan knows this guy was dedicated to this character and would do anything to make it a fantastic version of this character. He never got his shot. It's unfortunate, but like I had mentioned in another podcast, Brandon Routh had a chance to reprise his role as Superman. I don't doubt that they could do that again with him. You know, at Kingdom Come, have an old flashback or him in another alternate universe having this thing, somehow bring him back into it. I could see it happen. I think he deserves his shot. I think he deserves to have the definitive Superman movie. I'm on board. But let's be clear. Some of these Snyder cultists or Snyder bros that say that James Gunn killed the Snyderverse, no. The Snyderverse killed the Snyderverse. I don't think we were ready for this kind of dark world that he was portraying. It didn't build up as well the way we wanted, or I think the way it should have gone. I hate to compare, but Marvel did it right, where they had individual movies. You got the background, you got the feel for these, and they grew, and then they went into the Avengers, and then they had one, two, three, and then they went into Endgame, the big. They're going straight into Dark Side. They didn't really do anything with the character. You had no backstory really. It was hard, I think, for a lot of non-comic book fans to jump on board the Snyderverse. Maybe it was a little too much. But I still enjoy some of these movies. I think Aquaman was great. Wonder Woman was great. Batman v Superman, the director's cut is pretty good. Man of Steel is phenomenal. I think is now it's an underrated Superman movie in my opinion. But these cultists, they kind of released this manifesto a while back, kind of saying that if we can't have our Superman, no one will. And no one can have this imposter Superman that's coming out July 11th. And they kind of said, put out spoilers to ruin the movie going experience. From my experience, if it's a movie I want to see, I don't care about those spoilers. If I'm interested in this movie, I'm going to go see the movie. So, spoilers or not, spoilers be damned, I am going. Even if somebody tells me the ending of the Superman movie, I'm going to go because I love Superman, regardless of the incarnation that we get. Because, number one, I'm going to say this, I love Batman, but man, get over this. There's so many. There's so many. Okay, the one with Christian Bale, yes, that trilogy is a masterpiece. I have no dispute. But then, now they want to do it with the guy from Twilight, and there's so many, and he's going to be different than James Gunn's universe. So there's going to be two Batmans. Superman is one of the greatest superheroes of all time. And he was one of the big guys. He was part of that trinity of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. He has been the last, I think, 25 years, has been put on the sidelines. It is too long that he is put on the sideline. He needs to be that moral compass of the DC universe. He needs to be that symbol of hope. We need him back, in my opinion. So, as much as I love Batman, put him a little bit to the back burner a little bit. I've had so much Batman. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Give me Superman. Focus on him a little bit more. Give us a few more films before you give us a Batman film. They also mentioned, about buying tickets in advance and don't finish the transaction so nobody else can buy the ticket. why do you want to ruin it for other people? I understand you're mad at that your Snyderverse didn't work. I get it. But you know what? You pulled off the impossible. There hasn't been a fan, you know, base that saved the franchise since Star Trek had a mail lettering thing to save the and bring Star Trek back for another season. That was in the 60s. There hasn't been anything that's successful since the 60s. You did it. You got Warner Brothers to dish out $100 million to restore Snyder's version of this film that we all knew at one point it's never going to make the money back. And we're never going to see the ending. So we wasted all that money. We watched it. We're never going to get a definitive ending. Kudos to you. You got it done. You did the impossible. But now you want to destroy everything else. And you know what? You're giving a bad name to Snyder fans. Because not all of them are thinking that. Some of them said, you know what? Yes, we are sad that this ended. But I want to see DC Universe go on. I want to see Superman. I want to see Wonder Woman. I want to see Batman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Flash, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, whoever, Martian Manhunter, whoever else, and bring them to, glory that we didn't get with the Snyderverse. Because look, if you look at the numbers, they weren't there. You got, Birds of Prey, 200 million. The Flash, 267. Blue Beetle, 114. Shazam, Fury of the Gods, 132. Batman versus Batman v Superman, 872. That alone should have been, in a perfect world, a $2 billion movie. That is icon and icon. That should have blew Phantom Menace, anything, whatever, The Force Awakens, box office, out of the water. That should have been it, and it didn't do it. Aquaman is the biggest one, I think, with $1 billion. And who would have thought Aquaman would do it? And Jason Momoa didn't look like Aquaman. Now they're finally putting him as the character that me and Gio said from the get-go, he is Lobo. And now they're putting in there. Thank you, James Gunn, for listening to us. I appreciate it. Or if anybody heard that, we were on the money. And if Warner Brothers, you need guys to proofread the scripts and stuff, we're here. Contact us. We're willing to help you. Like I said, I'm coming back. Forgive me. I want this film to work because I want more Superman movies. I want Superman to be there. He was my favorite superhero. He is, like I said, he is the moral compass of the DC universe. And what made him great is he had all this power. He is literally one of the strongest DC characters. And instead of ruling the planet, he wants to be on our side and defend us and take care of us and show us a better way. Isn't that like one of the greatest things I've ever heard? And he doesn't have to hide behind a mask. It's him, Superman is the main character. Clark Kent is his, what humanity is. We stumble, we fall, we're weak. It's Superman is great. I love him. I'm hoping for the sake that this movie does well enough that they continue making Superman movies, because I would like more of them. Like I said, I not like I dislike Batman, but how many more? It's like Spider-Man. We have how many Spider-Man movies? There's other characters, and Superman is one that has been neglected. So July 11th, I'm going to try to be there opening weekend and show my support. And you know what, James Gunn? Yes, it will be a different interpretation. As we're looking at the trailers now, yes, it is. It's going to be different. But don't lump all these Snyder fans, into the same boat. A lot of them are like, yeah, we're sad, but we're looking forward to what you're going to bring us. And hopefully what you're going to bring us will knock our socks off. And I think that's all we want. We want a great movie. And I'm hoping, like James Gunn did it with, Slither, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, 3. I mean, if you would have told me years ago I'm going to flip out over a raccoon and a tree in space that talk, I said, you're out of your mind. And this is they're my favorite films, one of my favorite of the Marvel Universe, Guardians of the Galaxy. So if anybody can bring Superman back, I think James Gunn's got a great shot at it. Yes, it may not be what we thought we were going to get. We thought we were going to get another Henry Cavill one. Yeah, we're not getting that. But I hope that we embrace this one, give it a chance, watch it on its own merit, and see from there. And if it sucks, then we say it sucks. But if it's good, then we can say it's good, and hopefully we get more Superman movies. I would love to have more. I think it's been way overdue that we get a slew of Superman movies that knock our socks off and give us hope. Because I think we need it. We need hope now more than ever. And I think this is the character to do it. And that's my take on it. You let me know what you think. Do you think these Snyder guys are, some of them are, doing this the wrong way? And I hope to God they change their mind and get on board. Because not all Snyder fans are bad. They just want the best for these characters. And someone that fought for that Snyderverse thing, it's because they wanted to see it complete. And I don't blame them. But don't ruin the other incarnations because you didn't get everything you wanted. That's all I'm saying. We can all watch it together. There's different incarnations. There's Ben Affleck as Batman. There's Christian Bale. There's Adam West. There's Michael Keaton. We didn't like the Michael Keaton fans. Don't try to kill the Christian Bale fans. It's another Batman movie, and everybody rejoices. Can't we not do the same thing for Superman? What's the big deal? Come on, let's get on board. Let's give this a chance. Let's watch this movie and see from there. We'll make our judgment call once it comes out, not now. And let's not, tear it down before it gets in the theater. I'd like to see it take flight first, and let's see opening weekend what happens. I want to see it for myself and go from there. And that's my take on this. So hopefully it does well. You let me know what you think. You're going to go see this. You hate it. You're against it. You're strictly for Snyder. And if you have that point of view, that's fine. Everybody has their own point of view. But there's a way of doing it. And it can be better done, I think, than just trying to ruin everybody else's experience on something else. That's me. And I'll be seeing you soon, guys.